Dear friends in faith across the United States, will you commit to counteract the narrative and agenda of white supremacy? In the aftermath of multiple deaths, we bear witness to the need for every American to understand that the isolation and divisiveness of white supremacy is the way of death for all people, and particularly for the most marginalized among us.
Therefore, we call on you to embody love over fear by proclaiming these truths, which are in stark contrast to the evil ideology of white supremacy. Black lives matter. Yeah. Queer lives matter. Yeah. Indigenous lives matter. Yeah. Differently abled lives matter. Yeah. Refugee lives matter. Jewish lives matter. Hispanic and Latino and Latina lives matter. Trans lives matter. Muslim lives matter. Immigrant lives matter. And Asian lives matter.
As members of Congregate Charlottesville's clergy, we thank you for your many demonstrations of love and solidarity since white supremacists and neo-Nazis attacked our city. As we said to the violent hate mongers who pushed us to the ground and cursed us outside Emancipation Park, love has already won. We know by faith that love wins, even when we cannot see it, and we have committed ourselves to trust love over fear.
The nation's response to events here in Charlottesville makes clear that we need moral leadership in every community. As followers of God, we call all people to admit that white supremacy is a structure of evil, injustice, and oppression. We as people of faith must engage in the long, deep work of dismantling white supremacy in all of its forms. We must confront and counteract white supremacy within ourselves, within our communities, and within legal, political, and religious systems.
White supremacy is a systemic sin that is not unique to Charlottesville or to the South. It is woven into the DNA of the United States. We call upon you to partner with us in the holy task of renouncing and confronting white supremacy and dismantling the white nationalist agenda in your own community. Together with God, we can restore God's vision of a world where all are welcomed and affirmed in their full humanity.
Let us be clear. We will not allow our leaders to condemn hate while they continue to condone the policies and practices of white nationalism. And opposing white supremacy is not a partisan issue.
That's right.
All people of faith and conscience must commit to the deep work of justice.
All elected leaders at local, state, and national levels have the power and moral obligation to enact policies which uplift, protect, and provide for the most marginalized in our society.
As an act of choosing love over fear, we call upon all people, especially our faith and public leaders, to choose to stop racist voter suppression and gerrymandering by fully reinstating the Voting Rights Act. choose to oppose the RAISE Act, defend DACA, and refuse funding for a border wall. Choose to work for comprehensive criminal justice reform and reject the law and order culture which has cast black and brown people as the enemy of America. Choose to condemn political rhetoric and policies that target the LGBTQ, Jewish, immigrant, and Islamic communities. And to choose to support access to health care, affordable housing, jobs, and equal access to goods and services for all people.
We call on you to join us. We call on you to join us at an individual level, inside of your own selves, inside of our own selves, to dismantle white supremacy and to dismantle our complicity with it. We call on everyone, but particularly the faith communities around our country, to dismantle white supremacy and all of the oppression which has been a part of who we are for far too long. Amen and amen.
You want me to?